What's up, nerds? Let's talk about characterization. First, I want you to add this definition to your notebook vocabulary. So, wherever you have Unit 1 vocabulary, please go ahead and add this one. Characterization is the creation or construction of a fictional character. He preferred to emphasize characterization and human conflict. The film's narrative elegance and richly developed characterizations. So, essentially, characterization, it's the process of creating a fictional character. So go ahead and pause this video, get that definition down. Moving on from there, you're going to probably go back. You should have already read this by now, but we always benefit from a reread. I always discover new things. I've read this book so many times now. And still every time I'm like, whoa, I just don't remember that. So I want you to reread the chapter Moscow and anything that has to do with Uncle Anush. And you're going to work with small groups to create a slide deck answering these questions and questions on the next slide. Now, the way you create that slide deck is going to be up to you. You can turn this into one giant one, and I'll try and include like a little video that shows some tips and tricks for that. Or if you want to do a traditional slide deck, you can do that as well. But I want you to make sure you answer these questions. What do we learn about Uncle Anush? And then describe Anush's character in detail. What is he like with Marjan? What are his interests and passions? What is his temperament like? And as always, make sure that you are showing evidence of whatever it is you are finding. And so, when you think about a character is so much more than what they do. There's a temperament, a cadence, there's a way that they speak, a way that they interact. And in this particular piece, there's a way in which she draws Anush, and I think she draws Anush slightly different than a lot of her other characters. Personally, I think that's on purpose because of how important he was to her, but that's going to be up to you. Once you're done working with your group, so make sure you divide it up evenly. Once you're done, and I can give you jobs if you need it, you're going to repeat that character analysis with Marjan. So you do Anush first, and you're going to do Anush because it's a smaller section to work with, but then you're going to start thinking about Persepolis up until wherever we've read at this point. And I want you to describe her character, what's her worldview, think about her internal conflicts and her external conflicts. How does she respond to the world around her, outwardly, inwardly? And so I borrowed this little photo that you can model yours after, or if you just want to answer the questions, you can do that. But for my artists, I want to give you a chance to kind of explore and exemplify your genius. Or if you want to bring in photos, like however you want to do this, feel free. Again, this is going to go on the slide deck with Anush, so it's all one big thing. But I love this visualization of external and internal. You got the external physical traits as well as external problems. This is from like a smaller, like a younger person's book, so it's not going to be as developed as yours. But what is her inside world like? What are her thoughts, her internal dialogue? What about what are the ways that she sees the world and the way she thinks and the way that she feels? Is she particularly sensitive, or does she seem to, not be super empathetic? And, is she able to kind of brush off the problems in her world? Remember, she is a young girl growing up in the middle of a war, in the middle of a revolution that is ongoing. So really take that into consideration, because even though she's in that experience, she's still a girl and she's still growing up and she's still a kid. And so especially, you'll see this on your assignment, but especially around page 115 to 117, there's a huge character arc with Marjan. There's this development where she kind of makes her own personal stand. And I want you to make sure that you include that. So page 115 or so to 117. 117 is really kind of the big moment. But think about, okay, how does she get there? What causes it? Where is she at? Because she kind of has this huge break from who she was before. So go in there, work with your groups of four or five. Maybe you'll only have three, but work together so that you are not doing all of this on your own. Share your answers, work on a slide deck together. And on the next video, I'll kind of show you what that slide deck, some things you can do with it.